This is KGW News at noon.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Nina Melhoff filling in for Brenda Braxton today. New autopsy results are revealing the first confirmed coronavirus deaths in the U.S. actually happened in Central California, not in Washington, as initially thought. According to health officials in Santa Clara County, 2 people died from COVID-19 February 16th and the 17th. That is weeks earlier than previously believed. Washington's first death happened on February 29th. So according to the Santa Clara County Medical Examiner, those 2 people weren't tested for the virus, but at the time had an autopsy done and tissue samples saved. Back then, the CDC was only testing people who had traveled out of the country, and this couple had not. Those samples, though, were recently tested for COVID and came back positive. We are now getting an idea of what it would look like to start to reopen parts of Oregon and Washington. And of course, the key is a gradual easing of restrictions. Mike Benner breaks it all down for us.
And it will look more like a turning of a dial than the flip of a switch.
During a Tuesday evening address, Washington Governor Jay Inslee discussed a plan to reopen the state. He says it starts with COVID-19 testing. Right now, it's capped at about 4,000 tests per day. And simply put, that's not enough.
We need to be processing about 20 to 30,000 tests a day for our contact tracing plan to really work.
Speaking of contact tracing, the governor says he expects about 1,500 workers to be uber focused on that by the second week of May.
When your house catches fire, you call the fire department, and they come quickly. We are standing up a broad workforce that will see something similar.
Eventually, Governor Inslee says workplaces will reopen, but physical distancing will be required, along with screening and rigorous cleaning standards, among other things.
The health of Washingtonians is our top priority. We need healthy people in order to build a healthy economy.
In Oregon, a 25-page plan still in draft form lays out the 3 phases of reopening businesses and easing social distancing restrictions, none of which can even start until late May. Phase 1 involves, but is not limited to, the medically vulnerable staying home, people who can work from home continuing to do so, and the reopening of childcare facilities and some businesses. Assuming there's no spike in cases, Phase 2, non-essential travel could resume and schools and gyms could open with physical distancing. Again, if there's no spike in cases, Phase 3, employees could return to offices and restaurants and bars could offer more seating. Members of Oregon's Republican Party believe Governor Kate Brown is moving too slowly, but others, like State Senator Elizabeth Steiner Hayward, who's a former physician at OHSU, applaud the governor's approach.
If you don't use the best available evidence and you go too quickly, you get these huge rebound spikes in community-wide infections, and that's exactly what we can't afford.
A spike in infections is what Washington Governor Jay Inslee is also trying to avoid. He urges Washingtonians to be patient.
We are going to have to steel ourselves against this virus for quite some time. It is going to affect our daily lives in many ways for months.
Back to Oregon's reopening plan for a moment. A lot of it needs to be approved by the Oregon Health Authority, and they hope to do that in the next couple of weeks. In the meantime, if you'd like to read more about Oregon's plan, or Washington's for that matter, you can head to our website, kgw.com. I'm Mike Benner for KGW News.
We've been tracking local COVID-19 cases every day, so here are the latest numbers. Oregon has surpassed 2,000 positive cases. More than 41,000 people have been tested so far. 78 have died. In Washington, over 12,000 people are infected. 644 have died. Governor Inslee will give an update on Washington's COVID-19 response during a 2:30 press conference today. We will live stream that on all of our social pages. Well, we have learned of 4 employees at the Foster Farms chicken plant in Kelso who have the virus. Cowlitz County health officials say at least 2 of those patients likely passed it to one another at the plant. In a statement, Foster Farms said it has now started doing temperature checks on employees at each of their facilities. They're giving out face masks and adding dividers to workspaces where social distancing is hard to maintain. Plus, they're cleaning better. Outbreaks have been a problem at meat packing plants across the country because employees work in such close quarters. More than 900 workers have gotten sick so far at the Smithfield pork processing plant in South Dakota. Hundreds of lawmakers are in Washington, D.C. preparing for tomorrow's final vote on a nearly $500 billion aid package for small businesses. Tracy Potts has details on that, plus new concerns over a data breach.
Developing today, a data breach for one of the federal government's small business loan programs. The Small Business Administration confirms nearly 8,000 applicants' private information was exposed.
Bill as amended is passed.
The House votes tomorrow on $484 billion that cleared the Senate, most to help small businesses shut down by the coronavirus, including money for those owned by women and minorities.
Having a set aside for very small businesses, we are making it easier for them to participate.
It includes items Democrats insisted on adding.
$75 billion to aid hospitals, which really need the aid, and very badly, very proud of that, and $25 billion to support coronavirus testing efforts.
Republicans worry about the cost.
Begin to think about the implications to the country's future for this level of national debt.
President Trump says he'll sign an executive order today to halt all immigration into the U.S. No green cards for 60 days. He says temporary workers won't be affected. As the Trump administration focuses on the economy, the CDC predicts a second wave of coronavirus could hit this fall, right in the middle of flu season. And Attorney General William Barr says the Trump administration may take legal action against states with restrictive stay-home orders. He told the Washington Post some of these orders are like house arrest. Tracy Potts, NBC News.
New at noon, the Oregon Emergency Board plans to allocate more than $30 million in emergency funding. That funding includes $12 million in rental assistance for Oregonians who've lost their income. Also, $10 million will be up for grabs for workers who don't qualify for unemployment benefits or wage replacement. And another $10 million will go toward an assistance program for small businesses. The Emergency Board will hold a virtual meeting tomorrow morning to talk about it. Well, Portland agencies are also offering a helping hand for families impacted right now. The Portland Housing Bureau is taking applications to give away $200,000 in all for household needs, things like groceries or healthcare costs. Mayor Ted Wheeler says other agencies and homeless service providers will give out another $800,000.
I can tell you that $1 million was the baseline. I can tell you there will be more resources that are available in the form of grants. I just can't tell you the amount today, but we will know shortly.
Applications start next Monday through the 211 phone number. You can apply if you've lost income due to COVID-19 and were already earning less than half of the median income. So that would mean your household brings in less than $40,000. You can find more information on KGW.com. Well, with record unemployment, our KGW Q&A webcast tomorrow focuses on who's hiring. Host Galen Etlin will take your questions as he talks with experts who help businesses find employees. Whether it's temp work or a long-term position, they'll cover where and how to look for a job right now. It starts at noon tomorrow, and you can watch it at KGW.com or any of our social platforms. Let's talk politics now, shall we? Governor Jay Inslee throwing his support behind Joe Biden for the White House. The governor endorsed Biden today during Biden's podcast. Inslee says he's also convinced that the former vice president will make climate change a top priority. You might remember Inslee focused much of his presidential bid on climate change when he ended his campaign last August.